plain-spoken narrative summary of the Epstein files. The Epstein files paint a picture not of a single criminal, but of a long-running system built around access, silence, and power. The core operation Jeffrey Epstein ran what multiple court filings, victim statements, and investigators describe as a sex trafficking network that targeted underage girls, often from vulnerable backgrounds. Victims describe being recruited, transported, paid, and pressured into sexual acts, sometimes repeatedly, and sometimes with powerful men present or referenced. Epstein settled many civil cases quietly and avoided full federal prosecution for years, through a controversial non-prosecution agreement later ruled to have violated victims' rights. EFTA 002-64301. Ghislaine Maxwell's role. Ghislaine Maxwell is consistently described as central, not peripheral. Witnesses and former staff described her as managing logistics, recruiting girls, supervising staff, and maintaining the environment that allowed abuse to continue. She moved freely in elite political, academic, and royal circles while remaining closely tied to Epstein for decades. EFTA 002-64301. Named figures and social proximity. The files repeatedly referenced high-profile individuals, politicians, business leaders, lawyers, and royalty, appearing in social settings with Epstein and Maxwell. Inclusion in records does not equal guilt, but the documents show how Epstein gained protection through proximity to influence. Internal emails and depositions show how reputation, wealth, and fear of exposure functioned as shields. EFTA 002-64301. Donald Trump references. Donald Trump appears in multiple contexts across the materials. Social and historical association with Epstein, acknowledged publicly in past interviews. Civil and criminal allegations filed by accusers, including a widely circulated complaint alleging rape of a minor at an Epstein residence later withdrawn. Never adjudicated on the merit. The document exists as a sworn filing, not a conviction. EFTA 012444964. Mentions in victim statements and third-party reports contained in investigative summaries and internal correspondence. These entries range from first-hand allegations to second-hand claims, with law enforcement notes often stating, "No contact made" or insufficient corroboration rather than exoneration. EFTA 002-64301. Separately, publicly verified facts establish that Trump has been accused by at least 24 women of sexual misconduct over decades, has made recorded statements normalizing sexual assault, and was found civilly liable for sexual abuse in the E. Jean Carroll case, jury verdict, 2023. These facts exist outside the Epstein files but contextualize why allegations were taken seriously. Law enforcement and institutional failure. A recurring theme is delay, deflection, and minimization. Internal FBI and DOJ records show missed opportunities, jurisdictional buck passing, and an overriding preference for quiet resolutions. When Epstein finally faced renewed federal charges, he died in custody before trial, ending the possibility of full public accountability. EFTA 002-64301. What these files actually prevent, what they don't, they do not deliver universal legal conclusions about every named individual. They do document a verified trafficking operation, repeated sworn victim testimony corroborating staff and associate statements, institutional decisions that protected Epstein for years, a pattern where wealth and influence reduced consequences. Bottom line, no poetry, no cushioning. This wasn't rumor culture. It was a documented abuse network that thrived because powerful people were nearby, systems failed, and victims were ignored. The files don't ask you to assume guilt, they ask you to recognize how power insulates wrongdoing.